Welcome to the Quinnipiac University YouTube channel. Here with another episode of Quinnipiac Live, the show for college students or those heading off to college soon. Here to answer your questions live. So if you do have a question, feel free to send them right here. I'll get them in my laptop in the comments section below. And today we're going to be talking all about careers and jobs, and of course that's very fitting for college. And today I have with me Lila Carney, Quinnipiac's Director of Career Development in the School of Communication. Yep. So who better to talk about careers than Lila right here. So what are we looking forward to today?
So we're going to really kind of speak to those high school students that are out there, and you may not be thinking about careers yet, but you should be. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about what you should be looking for in a college through that career lens when you're looking at different universities.
Yeah, and if you are graduated or you're nearing the end of school, we'll talk a little bit about that.
We're going to talk about some job search tips in general. Yep.
Yeah, so we got a lot going on, and I see a couple of you in the chat already. We have Sabrina, SK Samouk, and Adil Shahid. Thank you guys for joining us. Odds are I didn't pronounce your name right, so I'm sorry if I didn't. Feel free to send me the phonetical spelling. But it's just about 4 o'clock, so Boomer, roll that open. Hey Bobcat Nation, it's Quinnipiac Live, the show for college students or those heading off to college soon. Here to answer your questions, so submit them in the comment section below. Lila and I will be taking care of them, and we'll talk about them right here live for you. So maybe you're in high school, you're thinking about colleges, where you want to go, you're looking into schools, but you have to think about your career after school, because sadly, college doesn't last forever, right?
Dear.
Sad. So what's one of the things that a student should be thinking about if they want a college that will set them up for a career after school?
Right, so of course there's academics, and every college has academics. So when we're thinking kind of outside of the classroom stuff, one of the things that you really have to make sure you're looking for is ways to get involved on campus. So the ways that you get involved on campus are some of your first resume builders, and some of those first ways that you start building a resume that will then help lead you to an internship, and those internships will then help lead you to jobs. So you want to look for lots of different ways that you can get involved on campus.
Yeah, and there are many different ways to get involved on campus. So it's not just a club, right? There are other ways?
There are other ways, but I think the student organizations are sometimes some of those best first steps to getting involved on campus. And so at Quinnipiac, we have, and the exact number is, I think, a gazillion student organizations, a gazillion.
Yeah.
So we have so many different student organizations, and you can get involved in student organizations that are related to your major. You get involved in students that are not related to your major, things that may be culturally related, things that just kind of broaden your interests and your horizons in other areas. So it's great to get involved in things that are related to your major and things that just aren't, that are just general things that you're interested in.
Sure, and you can find those clubs, organizations, and places to get involved either on the school's website. I'm sure they have a section about all of it where you can read about the clubs, or if you're on tour, you're at the school, go talk to somebody. There's somebody there that you can figure out what's to do on campus.
Yeah, be sure you're asking about ways to get involved outside of the classroom on campus. Right. So besides the student organizations, there are other ways to get involved. One of them involves making money. Everyone needs that, right? So getting a job while you're at college is a great way to get involved.
Definitely.
There are endless campus jobs to get involved with, and many of them pay you, your work study or non-work study positions, and they just help build your resume, expose you to kind of the work environment in general. Maybe you get some of those administrative skills that you didn't know you needed.
Right. And that leads right into one of our viewers'
courses that ingrains that kind of practical learning into the curriculum. That career development is not just a thought off to the side. You want career development to really be involved in your academics and involved in your curriculum. And so you really want to look for a university that ingrains that practical experience and those internship opportunities into the curriculum. And so most of our majors here, at least most of our majors in the School of Communications and many of our majors here do require internships to graduate. And most of our students do multiple internships because they see the value in getting that experience and building your resume even more. So.
And an internship is more fun than it is work, really, if you're enjoying what you're doing. So shouldn't be a hassle, and it's definitely something you should do before you graduate.
It's a great opportunity for you to explore and figure out, hey, I like this, or maybe I don't like this. And so we have lots of different ways. We have some short-term, smaller commitments. So maybe if you want to dip your toe in and find some stuff, we have some of those semester-long commitments. So if you're going to really commit to that internship and work, at least one full day a week at the internship site. So we have a lot of different opportunities.
Yeah, and that segues perfectly into Nicole Morando. She asks, is there a career center on campus?
Okay, Nicole, that's an amazing question. Thank you.
Good questions.
And so, right, no, that was an awesome question, because that is exactly one of the points I wanted to talk about, is that at Quinnipiac, we have many career centers because we have career offices in every one of our schools here. And the really nice part about that is that you get career development folks who know your industries. So in the School of Communications, I'm the director of the career development, and so I meet with all of our School of Communications students about, job searching, internship searching, interviewing, and my background's in journalism, so I know the industry, and I'm very familiar with the trends and what's going on and what's coming up next in the industries, and so that goes for all of our schools here, is that there are career development offices in every single one of our schools. So it's nice. You're working with somebody who knows the industry.
Definitely, and you can definitely find your career center on your campus wherever you are. So it shouldn't be a problem. Go to your director of careers like Lila is.
Right, but you want to look for universities that do have career development folks who know the industries, so.
Yeah, and thank you guys for getting the chat going. We love to see all your questions. Keep them coming and we'll get to them soon. And so far, our tips for students who are in high school thinking about colleges: how do you pick a school that best prepares you for a job? We have getting involved on campus, those opportunities, taking an internship. What's another tip you have?
So one of the things that I think you really want to look for is a university that has connections in industry and with its alumni. Yeah. So we have tons of connections with industries here. We have some informal connections where these companies and these industries just love Quinnipiac interns. We have more formal setups with some companies where we send them interns every single semester. But I have to say, our most valuable asset is our alumni. Sure. So we make an extra effort to stay connected with our alumni, and our alumni love helping our students. They love giving back in a way, whether it's just a phone conversation with a student who's just trying to figure things out, whether it's connecting or contacting us with internship opportunities, job opportunities. Our alumni, Quinnipiac alumni, love Quinnipiac students and love Quinnipiac new grads. They're awesome and they're so helpful, and they are one of our greatest resources here. So you want to look for a university that has those connections in industry and that has strong connections with its alumni.
So let me ask you, if I'm a prospective student at any university, let's say, how do I know that a school has a strong alumni connection?
Yeah, so you want to find out, are there ways for the school to directly connect you with alumni, or allows the students to connect directly with the alumni? Sure. And one of the things that we're actually launching is a way for our students and their alumni to connect directly. We have a platform that we're going to be launching in the spring where students will be able to search alumni in certain industries or that are open to informational interviews, right? And they can search for those alumni in the platform and be able to find those people that they can connect with. And so that will be our students' direct connection to our alum.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's another tip that someone should be thinking about if you're in high school looking for a college? So
you probably, and you definitely aren't thinking about this, but you want to look for a university that's committed to you for your entire life. We think of ourselves as lifelong learners here, and so you want a university that's going to commit to support you through any career stage you're in. And so there's a lot of ways that we do this. We have our school career development offices, so anyone from the School of Communications that graduated at any point can contact me, and I will help support them, whether that's a resume review, whether that's a practice interview, whether that's connecting them with other alumni, whether that is just helping them job search, helping them make a career transition back to the workplace. So I'm here to support all of our alumni, but one of the really most amazing resources we have is we have an alumni career development person. So it's me that's specifically for alumni. Yeah. And so she holds office hours in all sorts of different places around the country when she's traveling. She has tons of different resources for alumni. She will do those resume reviews. She will help people, and she has expertise in transitioning careers or transitioning back to work or whatever is happening in your career throughout your entire life. She has resources to help support you through all that. So yeah, once you're here, you're a lifetime Bobcat.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you look for that school spirit on campus. The connections that you have with alumni, that's really important, and the university should be able to promote that if it is true. And then you can find out if those connections are real and help you get a job after school.
You're a lifer here if you come here.
And I see a lot of you in the chat. Beastie, you're all the way from Pennsylvania. No worries, because we are able to reach you with this.
Yay.
So hopefully we can answer some of your questions. Keep them coming. All of you in the chat, Kyle, Sabrina, JFK, and all of you are talking. It's great. So keep sending your questions my way. And what's another thing that's something students should think about?
So one of the things that I think that I wanted to make sure we touch on is some of those just general job skills and job kind of things that students can and new alumni can do once they graduate, and things that everyone will need to know how to do. And so those things that we help students out with are their LinkedIn, interviewing. We have all sorts of wonderful online resources that our students get to use that also carry over to when they're alumni. So if you're watching and you're an alum, there's lots of wonderful resources where you can connect with employers, where you can connect with fellow alumni. And so there's lots of great ways to kind of beef up that job search. And we talked about this before, networking. Networking is a great way to kind of beef up your job search and make sure you're doing everything that you can do. And talking to people, I always tell the students, talk to your parents' friends and your friends' parents and find out what they do. Ask them questions. Yeah, you don't realize how big your network is until you start thinking about it and thinking about who you actually know.
Yeah,
so.
A small conversation, a message, it can go a long way.
Yeah.
When making a connection.
Yeah.
And Kyle Nago, not sure if I said that right, probably didn't. But he wants to know, to be honest, I'm starting to worry about college right now, and I really don't know what I'm doing and what I want to do. So he's worried. He doesn't know what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Kyle, Lila's going to help you out.
That's right. I'll solve all your problems, Kyle. So one of the great things, when you get here, you can come in undecided. You can come in communications undecided. There's a lot of different ways that you can come into the university and really start figuring it out when you get here. And one of the great ways is just taking classes and paying attention to what you like and when you feel successful. So don't stress about not having your career figured out the day you walk in here. A lot of students, I met with a student today who's a first semester sophomore, and she's starting to question, okay, I'm a film major. What does that mean? And what are the types of things that I can do with this degree? And so when you get here, you start taking classes, you start talking to people, you start exploring the different majors. And if you do feel like communications is your thing, but you're not sure what realm, we have some really awesome small internship opportunities. We call them kind of like your dip your toe opportunities, where you can kind of figure out like, okay, is it advertising or is it film or is it journalism? And you can do some smaller internships and see what the real world is like in those industries before you really have to make a decision. So my best advice is just to get out there, talk to a lot of people, do as much like professional experience as you can, maybe those small little internships, and that will help you figure it out.
And Kyle, let me tell you, I was in your shoes a couple years ago, same exact situation, didn't know what I wanted to do, even where I wanted to go. But what changed my direction for my career was going to Accepted Students Day. There you can learn about the different types of schools, the majors that they have.
Talk to the faculty.
Exactly. Meet the people, and just almost like being at the school for a day, you kind of feel like, okay, do I fit in best with this school? Do I like these students?
Yeah.
Is this curriculum what I want to do? Am I test driven? Do I prefer to be up and about? And that's where I found out I love communications. I came into the school undecided. Then I was in business, don't know how I ended up there. But now I'm in communications and I love it, and you start to get a feel for what you really like.
Yeah,
so
you start to know when it feels right.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's no worries at all what you don't know. If you don't know what you want to do, because most likely everyone else is in that place too.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It's hard. When I was in college, I changed my major, I think 2 or 3 times until I was able to find communications where it felt right for me. You know?
And Kyle, thank you for telling me your pronunciation. It's pronounced now, and it is really weird, but thank you for telling me, because now I know, and hopefully we'll see you on more shows, and I can say, hey, Kyle Now's here. And all of you are starting to get going in the chat. Bella13, Emma Saxey, and Kyle, again, we love seeing all of you guys talk, and we have more tips, right, for what to think about going to school?
So one of the things that I didn't get to touch on before was the different ways that you can get involved on campus. We kind of ended at campus jobs, but volunteering. I know a lot of students do volunteering when they're at home, and you can bring those experiences with you here and continue volunteering. If you volunteer for Habitat at home or Relay for Life, those are all things that you can do here. And volunteering is a great opportunity for you to build those team building skills, build your resume, meet more people, and build your network. So volunteering is a really awesome way to get involved on campus.
No matter what you do, you'll be able to find a way that it ties into what you want to do.
You really
after school.
can. You really can.
There are always chances to make yourself better, get to know people, network. So that fits in with opportunities on campuses. We talked about internships in the curriculum. And what else can a student think about when looking at a school for good careers?
Yeah, so I talked about getting involved on campus, and I still consider this campus involvement, but study abroad is a great way to build a resume, and it is so much fun. Getting, some global experience, some global exposure, learning different cultures, different languages, those are all really awesome ways and really awesome resume builders, but to prepare you for your career and to be a professional. And the last one, which as a student, you probably think this is so much fun, but club sports and intramurals. You may think that's just for fun, but there are so many wonderful skills you're building through that. You are building those team skills, those ability to teamwork. You're building your network again. And one of the other things that I think all of campus involvement helps build is those time management skills.
Definitely.
When you transition to college, it's a whole, jarring experience to your whole schedule. You're used to being in school and all these times, and now you're in class. So you are able to, the more involved you are, the more able you are to hone those time management skills, which you need as a professional. And so I always like to use this point, but the research shows that students that get involved on campus are more likely to graduate within the 4 years. And so you need to get involved and I say this at orientation, the secret to college, I'm about to say it, so everyone online, listen.
Get your pen and paper.
The secret to college is balance. It's all about balance. You have your classwork, you have your fun stuff, you have your student organizations, you have you go to your religious services. There's all sorts of things that you need to balance as a college student, and that helps so much with time management. But that's the secret to success at college is balance.
Yeah, so putting yourself out there, getting involved in something, it'll pay off later when you're looking for a job and someone wants to know your time management skills. So there you have it, get involved.
Yeah, get involved. Yeah.
What's another tip for students looking for colleges with good careers afterwards?
Yeah, so again, I think one of the things that we have here is our career development course. So most of our schools have a career development course that I tell the students, this is a course that's all about you.
Right. And most schools will have this.
A lot of schools have career development courses.
Especially at Quinnipiac, though.
But Quinnipiac, we have a school-specific ones, so that's really nice that they, we can really focus on what's going on in the industries and what are some school-specific things related to, careers. Yeah. So in our career development courses, we touch on resumes, cover letters, interviewing, LinkedIn, business cards. One of the new things that, is probably over the last couple of years is virtual interviews. So a lot of students, they don't necessarily go in for a first interview or maybe they'll do a phone interview, but then when the employer wants to see you face to face, sometimes you have to do it over FaceTime or Skype or Zoom. And so we practice with students on how to build those skills, because that's an art, being able to interview virtually.
Sure.
So
not easy.
It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. And a lot of times they're kind of automated, so you're not even speaking to a person.
Isn't that weird?
There's like a question, and then you have to be like, here's my answer. So
Yeah.
we work with students on how to kind of do those and do those well, so that you're getting to that next level where you can show them your charm in person.
So say you're looking at a school and you want to take one of these classes like Lila is describing, ask somebody there, like, do you have a career development course? Is there something all students take? And then maybe ask a little bit about the course too.
Yeah.
And we have here another question from Beastie and SK Sumuk. He goes, LOL, same. Me too. I've wanted to be a robotics engineer since 6th grade. Well, that's great that you know what you want to do. Yeah,
You're
that's
halfway
great.
there.
And there are career development courses for like Beastie and SK.
in engineering.
Yeah,
Yep,
definitely.
Absolutely.
Career opportunities in the engineering school, so maybe you could talk a little bit to that for our viewers here.
Yeah, our engineering school it's a newer school, and they are truly cutting edge here. So they've already graduated several classes, so they have a good core group of alumni that are helping connect them to the industry. And the one thing that I know about our engineering group is that their employment rate, like 6 months after graduation, is so high. So they really do a great job preparing their students for life after graduation and getting those awesome jobs in engineering.
Yeah, so tons, no matter what school you go into, there's definitely going to be something for you there, especially at Quinnipiac. But if you're looking at another school, definitely make sure that you look into that. And of course, come back to Quinnipiac because we have it all.
Right.
And I think you mentioned before something about a commitment to learning and something like that. What were you saying about that?
The lifelong learning.
Yes.
So one of the things that we really focus on here is that commitment to that you are a Bobcat for life. And so we have ways that we can support you through any stage that you are in your career. We have resources that we can refer you to. We have people here to support you. And it's an important element of our university is that we are committed to our students and our alumni as lifelong learners. So we want to make sure we're supporting you through any stage in your career, whatever that is.
So looking at the values of a university, and sometimes that's just visiting the college or the university, seeing the feel of it, like we talked about before a little bit, and it's just knowing like what do they value? They value alumni, career development, services, office hours, and things like that. So that's all really super important.
Yeah.
And so Emma wants to know, this looks like a really good question. She goes, I don't really know what I want to do, LOL. I just want to have a good job that makes a difference in the world. Emma, I do too.
Emma, come be my friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good thing to be thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're in college already or you're in high school thinking about schools, but how would you help somebody find a job that helps them make a difference in the world?
Yeah, I think getting involved in some of our really active volunteering student organizations is a great way to kind of figure out like, hey, are these the outlets that would, that make me feel like I'm making a difference in the world? And then I think you can figure out some careers that relate to that, and whether that is communications or whether that is business or whether that is health sciences. You can kind of figure out from there what feels right to you and what area do you want to go into where you're going to make that world a better place. Based on the skills that you are really finding that you're strong in when you're doing your volunteer work, when you're getting involved on campus.
Yeah,
So.
and Emma, I could tell you too, being in college for 3 years, you find what fulfills you, what you feel you're very good at. And if you're good at something, you do it well, you care about what you do, you're going to make a difference. It's about your interests and what you're good at, because everybody has a different track. We're all in college, but we're all going down somewhere different. So it's all about what you're good at, and that's maybe the first step is finding what you're good at.
Right.
So getting involved, taking an internship, or getting to know your director of career development, something like that. You'll find out what you're interested in, and as long as it's fulfilling, you're going to make a difference in the world. So that's a really good point to bring up, because whatever you do in college, you want to make sure that's worth it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Yeah, you got to make the most of your time here.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe for those of you out there who aren't in high school, you've already thought about college because you're already in college, maybe you're graduating soon, you already have graduated, and you want to know, how do you get a job now? What's the next step? So what would you say to somebody like that?
I mean, resumes, cover letters, making sure your materials are like top notch.
Check.
Right, and that you've done your campus involvement and you've got all that on there, that you've done your internships, you've got that on there, you have your jobs on there. And so you want to make sure that your resume is in a good, strong place. Make sure your materials are clean, that there's no typos. You look at that a million times and you might miss a typo, so have somebody else proof it too.
Yeah.
And just getting on LinkedIn. I talk about LinkedIn as the way to organize my network. That's how I organize who I know. And so getting on LinkedIn, connecting with more people there, reaching out to folks on LinkedIn, and asking for information. Don't ask for internships, don't ask for jobs, ask for information.
Talk to the person.
Exactly, and ask them, how did you get to be where you are? How do you break into this industry? Just ask for information on LinkedIn, and just really kind of identify who you know. You know, like I said before, your parents' friends and your friends' parents.
Everybody.
Yeah, you gotta really figure it out. You don't realize how many people you know and what they do and who they know, because that's your network.
Exactly.
People think of networking as like walking into a room of strangers and like shaking hands, and that's not really what it is. It's figuring out who you know and talking to them and telling them a little bit about yourself besides asking about them.
Building a relationship. Right?
Yeah.
And so I see here in the chat, Emma, you're a junior in high school. That's good to hear. She's already thinking about college. And she says, yes, I will totally be your friend. Thank you, Emma.
Oh,
Thought I should
Emma.
let everybody know. And we have a question here from Sabrina. She wants to know, are extracurriculars in high school very important? What would you say?
So I think it's a great way to kind of establish a routine of doing things outside of the classroom. So I think getting involved outside of the classroom in high school it's a wonderful way to kind of build your application for when you're applying for colleges. But I think it's also about establishing a routine for yourself, and the fact that you understand you have that schoolwork and that academic work that you need to get done, but you also have these other commitments that you have. And so getting in that routine of attending those meetings and working with other people outside of the classroom and doing that volunteer work, doing that TV station, that high school TV station or newspaper, yearbook or whatever the heck it might be. But just establishing that routine of being involved in your community, I think is so important and will serve you well when you come here, and you'll be ready to get involved in our community here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything Lila said, getting involved. But you have to know too, in high school, you won't be as involved as you are at school. So don't feel like you have to join everything, or you're like, oh my gosh, when am I gonna have time to eat? But definitely being involved. Do a couple things. You want to show off to the university that you're applying to, like, hey, I'm interested in this and that and this, and I can do all of these things. And it does show time management. So just doing what you're interested in, and then when you get to school, that's when the involvement really starts. Because there's a lot.
There's a lot, and the nice part about the student organizations here, like maybe in high school you have that teacher who's the advisor and is always there and is pretty hands-on.
Right.
The nice thing about the student organizations here is they're student run. The students are the leadership in the organizations.
Best
the
part.
Students are running the show and figuring out which direction this organization goes in. And so it really gives students a nice opportunity to get some leadership skills, but really make an impact on the community here too.
Definitely. We have another question. It's either a fancy name or I'm pronouncing it wrong, but La Precious Whittaker.
I love it.
And they want to know, being a junior in high school, how do I go about finding and getting into a school out of state? It's a loaded question, but there are a lot of points to it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think just getting, doing your extracurriculars in high school, getting good grades,
Very important.
Yep. School first, everyone. But I think the big thing is you have to make sure that you're finding a community where you fit in. So make sure that you are visiting schools. There's so much about a school that you can read online and seems perfect, and then you go to that campus and you're like, I don't know.
It's weird.
It's weird. So many
find
students have come to Quinnipiac and said, I wasn't sure, but then I stepped foot on campus and I loved it.
Yeah.
Because
the best feeling. I know I had that when I came to visit.
Yeah.
Then I came back 3 more times.
Right.
And I keep loving it. So, it never gets tired when you have that one.
Yeah.
feeling.
So my advice would be make sure you're getting out to visit schools, because it really is about that gut feeling you have when you step on that campus. Sure. So come visit us.
Yeah, like you said, you never know until you actually visit there, depending on, La Precious, how far you're looking at schools. I'm from New Jersey. I'm in Connecticut now. So it was about a 3-hour drive, but it was so worth the visit. And for anybody that comes here, we have students from Florida, California, out of the country even.
Right.
And, they come here and it's that feel and it's that environment.
Yeah.
So visiting, doing your research, and then meeting the people there too.
Yeah, I know
you want
we
to
have
make sure you relate.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of open houses coming up. I'll be working many of
I believe
them,
the first
so.
one is September 21st.
Yeah.
So very soon. If
Yeah.
you're close, try to make the trip.
Come visit us.
Yeah, we're right in between that spring and fall.
Yeah.
Summer and fall, I should say.
Yeah.
Summer and fall transition, so it's really pretty time on
Yeah,
campus.
it will be beautiful.
If you don't fall in love, I don't know.
I know. What's wrong with you?
Right. Well, thank you all for keep chatting in the comment section here. I'm seeing all of you. You're all talking. It's great. And we have another question from Genzi Rodriguez. He says, hello, I'm a junior, and my school just introduced the IB program. How is it useful in college? And I am one of the 20 students in it.
So I'm wondering if he means international business, IB.
That's what my initial thought is. Maybe you can clarify here in the comment section.
We'll go with it for now.
Sure.
I think that's amazing. That is a really amazing opportunity to get exposed to kind of the global marketplace in high school. So I think that definitely that's an awesome thing to be able to maybe write in your college essay about, and being involved in this program, because there's only 20 people involved, and what that experience is like. I think any of those really interesting global opportunities, even, I mean, at the high school level, that's amazing to be a part of. So I can't imagine that wouldn't give you an essay topic for your, but yeah, great way to get involved on campus, and a great way, or on your high school, but also a great way to kind of explore.
Yeah.
Is this an industry you're interested in? Is this a major you might want to pursue in college?
So it gets you a little bit exposed to college
Yeah.
before you're even at college.
I know, I love it.
And so we've talked a little bit about helping students who have graduated, if they're looking for a job still and things like that, where they want to go. And you said one of the things was LinkedIn. And I feel like that's a really important platform that a lot of people don't know about, especially high school students.
Yeah.
And you can never start too early with that. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of our students, I do some surveys during orientation, and I ask them, like, who has a LinkedIn? And so I would say about half of our incoming freshmen that I've surveyed, they have LinkedIn already. And so it's just, to me, like I said, it's a great way to keep your network organized.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really cool things that LinkedIn can do. You might just think, oh, it's for me to connect with people, but there's a lot of great things that LinkedIn can do. So for example, if you're interested in a specific company, you can look that company up on LinkedIn and then see who on LinkedIn works at that company. And so you can see, do I have any connections there? Is there anyone that I want to reach out to, that I want to ask questions of? And the same thing for the university. You can look up Quinnipiac University's LinkedIn page, and you can see our alumni, and you can search who's working in different industries and what geographic areas. LinkedIn has so many awesome kind of search tools. And then of course they have the job listings.
Right.
And so the cool thing about the job listings on LinkedIn is if there's a job listing that you're interested in, it will say if you have any connections to that company. And so you'll be able to know who you can reach out to. So LinkedIn, I mean, if you don't have it already, just get on there and sign up. Explore. It's free. So there's so many wonderful resources on LinkedIn. So and one of the things in our career development course is we help students develop their LinkedIn profiles.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Yeah.
If you are in school, how do you start that LinkedIn?
Yeah. So you got to get on there. The first thing that I tell people they need a professional level headshot. So not the picture where you're like cutting off the other person half of their face.
Not a Snapchat.
No. And you have that like picture where you think you look cute, but like your best friend is like plastered next to you don't want to cut her off.
Not very cute.
Right.
Just so you know.
Right, when you're cutting off half her face.
Right.
So you want a professional picture. It's the first thing that like people will see. It's at the top of the page on LinkedIn. So, and I'm not saying you have to go and get like a photographer to take it, but you just have to have a picture where you're dressed, somewhat professionally, and where your background is, somewhat nice.
Right.
So, dress somewhat professionally, background somewhat nice, take it with your iPhone, and get a professional headshot on there. But then you want to fill out your information. If you're in high school, you can put some of that high school stuff on there right now. If you're in college, you're going to put your campus involvement on there, and then you're going to start connecting with people.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is really wonderful where it gives you a lot of people to connect with. Like it just suggests all these people, and you can be like, oh yeah, I know him, I know her, I know him, I know her.
At first, you'll get a lot of notifications from LinkedIn. I know I did when I first made mine. I'm like, oh my gosh, there are so many. But then you realize, oh, somebody searched and found my name. Oh, somebody viewed my profile. And then you're like, wow, I'm in the real world.
Yeah.
And it's very cool. So it's important to make one, try to get a little witty with it, creative and stuff, have that nice headshot, and then you can have a really nice LinkedIn to present to, your job interviewer. I'm sure they've probably already looked at it because that's what everybody does these days.
Yeah, it's true. So.
And all of you guys talking in the chat, this is great. There are honestly too many of you to name right now.
Yay.
I see one question though, and La Precious says, I'm from Florida, by the way. Very cool. You probably have very nice weather right now. And they want to know, how does taking dual enrollment help get into colleges and universities? I'm not sure what you mean by dual enrollment.
Precious, I have no idea what
I don't
dual
think what
enrollment
Lila knows either, but maybe you can clarify for us so we can help answer your question. A lot of you guys are talking, a lot of you guys talking to each other. This is awesome. So Lila, before we end the show, do you have any last minute advice, any more suggestions, tips for everyone watching out there?
Just, I think it's easy if you're in high school to like not think about that whole career thing. That's way off. It seems like it's a million years from now, but it is not as far as you think. So definitely when you're searching for colleges, have that career mindedness happening. Make sure you're asking questions about the career development office, career prospects for the majors that you're looking into. Just make sure you're asking those career questions when you go visit different universities, and come visit us.
Yes, please. We do have open houses a ton throughout the semester, so be sure to find those on our website and sign up for one, and maybe we'll get to see you there. But that's all the time we have for today's show. So for more on college life in general or Quinnipiac specific, check out the description for links. And thanks for hanging out with Lila and I today.
Thank you.
Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, where we'll answer your questions college students have or those going to college soon have. So see you next week on Quinnipiac Live. Go Bobcats!